The following video is rated PG for puzzling gameplay. Viewer discretion is advised.
Our overall supreme world record holder looks to stake their claim to the overall top seed in this entire tournament going forward. It is our number 1 seed Yoschi112 and our 16 seed Razorflame. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the League of Puzzle Speedrunners Tetris Attack Speedrun Tournament 2022. I am your head tournament organizer, Cards of the Heart, joined by Tetris Attacker here and the TA. We've got some very hype matchups for you. I hope we're gonna see some good times and some good PBs here today.
Absolutely, we're lining up to see another week of action here. If the last 2 weeks have been any indication, we're gonna see some time improvements across the board, regardless of matchup, mismatch, or otherwise historical speed from some of these players. Everybody's been putting in a lot of practice and really dropping times all over the place.
Yeah, seeing best time improvements in races all throughout this tournament, and hopefully we see a few more today. And our 16 seed is going to have a very, very uphill battle to climb in this one against our overall best player in this tournament. So hopefully we get to see some. Hopefully the pressure will be off, and we'll get to see some good times from him. Let's hope for some good races today. But first, if you're just tuning into this game for the first time and you're not exactly sure how it all works, allow me to take a couple minutes of your time to explain how this game works and how we are playing it in this tournament. Tetris Attack is a Match 3 puzzle game released for the Super Nintendo in August 1996 for North America and November 1996 for Europe. It was also broadcast on the Japanese Teleview service from November 1996 until the service was discontinued in June 2000. As a Match 3 puzzle game, if you match at least 3 of the same panel either horizontally or vertically, the panels will disappear. To win, however, you'll need to do more than simply match 3 at a time. You need to make combos and chains to not only prevent your gradually rising stack from reaching the top of your playfield for a time, but also send garbage to your opponent to make their stack reach the top of their playfield. You make combos by matching more than 3 panels in a row at the same time. They don't keep your stack from rising for very long, but they do send small garbage blocks to your opponent that can quickly add up if stacked correctly. You make chains by linking sets of 3 or more matches together. Make a set of panels disappear and then have the panels directly above them fall into another match. Not only does this keep your stack from rising for a longer period of time, but it will also make thicker garbage blocks that will be more effective at actually filling out your opponent's stack to the top. If your stack reaches the top of your playfield and the game tries to break the stack through the top, you lose, so you want to avoid this at all costs and force it on your opponent as much as possible. To beat these computer opponents, you'll have to either make sure that they run out of time while their stack is completely topped off, send so much garbage to your opponent so that they can no longer make a move, or send garbage to your opponent in such a way so that they think they can no longer make a move. That said, due to the way this game handles combo garbage as well as the overall speed of these opponents, you will almost exclusively see our players make them run out of time through timely garbage attacks. Easy mode has 10 stages, normal mode has 11 stages, and hard and V-hard, as we call it, have 12. In this tournament, players will be racing through those stages to get to the end as fast as they can. The first player to defeat the final opponent wins the race. The first player to win a predetermined number of races wins the match. Best of luck to all of our players. So we are in the middle of our group stage, our pool stage now. We are kind of smack dab in the middle now. It is week 3 of 5 here in the Tetris Attack Speedrun Tournament 2022. We took our 20 players that signed up for this thing and divided them up into 4 equally sized pools, and we are having them engage in best of 5 speedrun racing combat against those computers that we know and love so dear. And we're taking them on all the game levels available to us. So how are we deciding which levels we're playing? Well, the players will just pick one. And some people are just reluctant to pick one. They let the other decide, and if both of them can't decide on a level, well, I'll just make them play a different level instead. So we'll pick the first level to play, and the loser of each race gets to counterpick the next level, a different level, until all the levels have been played, or we have a winner. And if we do get to game 5, it opens back up, and that race loser will get to pick that level. So whoever gets that, whoever has to deal with that in game 5 may have quite a bit of advantage on their sleeve. And so once we're done with that, with this stage, we'll have the top 2 players from each pool advance to the final bracket, and hopefully by the end of this week we'll see a bit more of those possibilities take shape. We'll have some idea of who will be advancing going forward. We do also have a prize pool for this tournament, thanks to all who have supported us thus far. Everyone watching can contribute to the prize pool. There's a link on screen. You can also type !pool in Twitch chat to get that clickable link to support us, support the players, and all of your donations and Twitch bits will go into the pool 1 for 1, like I am about to demonstrate here. Get a little feedback for showing your support, so please spare what you can if you are able. Also throw in the Twitch subscriptions as they come in. You see what portions of those will get added to the pool. And there's a very hefty payday for the ones that do the best in this tournament. 40% for the winner of this race TA, and that's quite a little payday there, isn't it?
Yeah, we're all donating to Yoshi's retirement fund here. So there's a chance it could be someone else, but a better than 40% chance at getting that 40%, I'd say.
Oh man, Yoshi or the field? We're gonna start having those discussions.
We'll open the predictions right now. Yoshi or the field? I think I still take Yoshi.
Goodness gracious! But yeah, you can already see in Pool 1 TA, Yoshi's starting to break away from everyone else with that 2-0 record, the 6-0 race record, which unfortunately you have already had to go through that experience. So how are you expecting the rest of this group to shake out?
Well, Yoshi's already faced anyone who can even hope to take a match off of him, except for Forky, who's going to completely sweep him if you ask Forky. But realistically, I mean, that's going to be the question mark. Is Yoshi going to clean sweep his way through here, or is someone going to take one game off of him? He's locked in on that first spot, kind of why we lovingly have called this pool Yoshi's Island. Realistically, the rest are kind of jockeying for position here. We're only 2 weeks through the 5, and everyone gets a bye, so that's why you're seeing a couple people have 2 games under the belt, and a few people only have 1, and they're getting their second game right now. So we're going to start seeing some of this fall into place, but as far as the seeds go, they're really lend to this pool probably shaking out roughly how we expect, with me, TA, and Forky. That match in week 1 really was a coin flip, and I think Zep Razor are very evenly matched talent level as far as we've seen so far. As I mentioned, practice and improvement have really shaken some of this up. But Yoshi is so far and away ahead that he's realistically going to be in that spot 1, and it's just a matter of how dominating is he going to be, completely or totally.
It almost feels like a guarantee that Yoshi's going to have the overall #1 seed going into the final bracket. But let's not count out Razor TA. He's definitely managed to rise to the occasion in a few races and put up some better times. It's gonna be a tough one though. Let's be fair. It's always tough for anyone that has to face Yoshi, but
that many ones next to each other on Yoshi's side of the screen makes anybody really just sweat about their chances. So there's two ways that you can come into a match with Yoshi looking at it. He's so dominant that you can come in, as you mentioned a little bit earlier, with absolutely no pressure on yourself to try and beat him. But just to play your best game in a race scenario. And guess what? I mean, as much as we joke about Yoshi being, a living task, he's human. Occasionally a no reset run won't go his way, and maybe you can snipe a game off of him. And really, I mean, even if you can't take a best out of 5 off of him, if you can take 1, that really, almost no one else is going to get a chance at 1. That's going to play into tiebreakers. That's a big part of tiebreakers is your actual race record. So that's certainly a prize that if you happen to play well, you improve your own times, you improve your own play, and if you happen to get 1, that's a great way to look at it. The other way is you can go in hoping that you beat him and just get your soul crushed. So I suggest the first one to all of our racers. And Razor's played for a long time. He knows how this goes. He knows the skill level he's got and what he's up against. And hopefully his practice will pay off with some nice chunk improvements. Like I said, we've seen a lot of that this tournament.
Yeah, we've already seen one improvement from Razor last week, getting that hard time down from 828 to 825. So we've already seen Razor step up in one way in this tournament. Hopefully we'll get to see some more. So let's just not dally about this any longer. This is going to be a pretty good match to get into, and let's get right into it. It's number 1, Yoschi112, number 16, Razorflame, in Pool 1 action coming at you right now.
Starting off on easy mode.
Oh yes. Again, the players. Some of the players in this tournament generally have not shown a preference for starting with any one level over the other, but we've seen quite a few opt for easy first. So we'll see.
Yeah, there's various strategies with that. There's a lot of people who dislike easy so much that knowing that they're going to play it later is just a headache for them. So they choose to get themselves easy out of the way, so they don't have to worry about facing it later. That's one way to go about it. If you dislike a mode, do it first. Get it out of the way. Use it as your warm up. And other people like it and feel like it's a good place to start. It's the slowest actual game speed. On a speed level 1 to 10, it's a game speed 2. So if you're, not feeling like you're warmed up, you feel like you want to get into the groove, it's a great way to, go without the game really putting a lot of speed pressure on you. So there's a lot of ways to look at it.
Well, we are getting our times out of the way right now, and we'll get our timer on screen in just a little bit. It'll be just a bit late, and Yoshi's stream will be about 3 seconds behind by comparison. So
yeah,
keep that in mind as this gets underway.
By my watch, it was about 7-second difference. So, not too bad of a difference, but just enough if they're looking pretty close to know that there's a difference there. And, pretty similar times coming out of Lakitu. I mean, 23, 25. That's a lot longer than you would normally see on a typical easy mode, especially for Yoshi. So we'll see if that's a trend or if, you know, Lakitu once again is a one-off here. Razor taking his time setting up the 9 combo there. Love to see 9s.
Oh,
And Yoshi getting cleared on by Bumpty.
Oh, again, that's just been the unfortunate deal with this one. That happens to literally everybody. Another garbage clear. Bumpty, this is why you weren't in the Game Boy version. Get out of here.
One single clear on easy mode can buy a lot of stop time for the AI, and sometimes that's enough for them to get there a second time in spite of the really, really painfully slow cursor speed. That's a lot of people's issue with this mode is you get punished pretty hard depending on how your open was, and Yoshi fell his open fell a little short and his follow up didn't get there in time to stop Bumpty from the match. Meanwhile, Razor's putting together some decent levels. Yoshi, on the other hand, storming back, upset about those 20-second plus, and just says, "Okay, here we go. Here's a 13."
Yeah, that one was timed a bit more, fortunately, for them. But yeah, it just happens to anyone, and Yoshi has as much of an ability to come back as ever as anyone else. Getting that 8 combo in the middle of the chain is really showing how creative they can be with finding combos.
Yeah, but Yoshi, again, the opener wasn't quite there, but having a good follow-up kept the stage from dragging on too long. Meanwhile, Razor was really setting up 2 or 3 different things where he needed to switch in, you know, and just couldn't quite get the timing. I don't know if that's a case of just isn't feeling the timing today, or maybe the speed or lack of speed on easy mode is messing with him, even though it makes for a little bit bigger windows for those tricks. Lag chains on Yoshi's side. There we go. And
Froggy had a match right there.
Ready. Yep.
And it's gonna have a chain. Oh.
Chaining on easy mode. Banned. Boo.
And yeah, you mentioned the speed, TA. Easy mode has a speed level of 2 out of 10 for those of you that played more versus. So this mode is very, very, very slow.
Well, and something to remember, and that you don't think about, is the speed isn't just the speed at which the stack moves up, right? The speed is also how long it takes for the blocks to clear, how long it takes for garbage blocks to fall, how much or how quickly or slowly stop time increments. So all of that is affected. Oh, Yoshi thought he had it and accidentally paused, I think, or was that a frustration pause? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Maybe the reset mentality is already creeping in there. Who knows? But yeah,
this isn't PPL.
I also get very frustrated when the timing does not fall into place, as I'm sure everyone saw it in my first match. So I definitely sympathize with Yoshi's current plight. Okay, 8 combo on the end of that 4 chain, and that will work very nicely. Ooh, anything sub 15 in easy mode absolutely is amazing.
Razor doing decently well, has had a couple stages where he's struggled to get the enemy topped off, and those have been so far the difference, but he's keeping it reasonably close. He's got a few different times when his setup hasn't quite worked the way he's wanted it to, but recovered pretty well. We'll see if he's able to continue translating that into the other modes as this match continues on.
Okay, good decision to extend that to an X5 for our number 1 seed, and we'll be getting through to the Cave of Wickedness at about the 5-minute mark, something close to 5:10, which is probably not a pace that Yoshi is super thrilled with, but that's going to be a good time for a lot of people as we get into the Cave of Wickedness here. Again, this is easy mode, so we'll only have 10 stages to deal with. Naval Piranha Plant is at the end, and Yoshi is blazing a trail to it as fast as just about only Yoshi can.
The nice little drop 9 combo leading into the 4-5 lag chain. Really just showing off the tech, and that's the one thing that easy mode is fantastic for, is it is so tech heavy when you get to these faster levels and more experienced and lower timed runners. Like, that's those little technical things all start to make even more of a difference, because the game speed allows you to do more things and kind of almost requires it of you to get those extra fast times. Yoshi showing off how to do some of those things is fantastic, and finishing it off with a 15 on Piranha to close it out. Anybody watching this, if you're playing this game at any level, like, you've got 2 great examples here on the screen. You've got the world's best over on one side, who didn't have his best run but showed flashes of why he is the best. 6:19 final official time, very very nice in spite of the repeated trolling. And then you've got Razor here on the other side, who in spite of not having as good of times on the leaderboard, is really showing a lot of the techniques that you need as you improve and get better and better times here. Really starting to put some of them together, and even side by side on Yoshi, you can see some of those things working out. But he's gonna get a horizontal clear on the vertical, the blue.
It's gonna injure. Oh my goodness, that was so close.
That's 1 pixel. I think he was 1 pixel away from.
Oh my!
Ultimately trolled and saved it in time. That was great.
Well, with that 6:19, which is by the way 21 seconds slower than the time Yoshi had in his last easy race, but that's still a top 5 easy time in this tournament. So yeah,
for sure.
I think we are. I think this whole tournament is just Yoshi's Island, and we're just living in it.
Absolutely. It's crazy to think you're watching, and if you've watched, me and Cards have watched a good amount of Yoshi's matches before. We watch and we see him struggling based on what we know he's capable of doing. We see all this trolling on multiple stages, and by the end of it, you look up and he's still at a 6:19 in spite all of it. It's amazing how fast he is.
Yeah, let's not gloss over the double X3 lag chains that Piranha is putting on Razorflame right now. Like,
no, that's disgusting.
Oh, jeez.
Almost had enough time that he was going to be able to pull that green and make it worse, but finally stopped the madness here with the 56.
Oh, well, the time for Razorflame is an 8:36. Definitely not a super satisfactory performance, especially compared to the time Razor got last week. But well, that's just one. We're just gonna have to get that out of the way, as we always
looking
do.
at that time, in total, I'm sure he's not as happy with it as he could be. But when he goes back and reviews that one, I mean, he's gonna look at all the trolling that happened and how well he recovered, and a lot of that's definitely going to be a beacon of hope there, because a lot of these other stages, realistically, the name of the game is recover, and if you don't have a good open, make sure your follow-ups are good. Easy's the hardest one to have that apply to, so if he's got that game on point, he's got a chance in the other modes.
Alright, let's go ahead and give Yoschi112 that first star as we move into V-Hard. So now the randomness gets taken up all the way to 11.
So we mentioned a little bit in the pregame on this that the selection of which mode that they have goes to the loser. Well, there's some strategy to it, and this is one strategy we've seen a bit of, the maximum whiplash strategy, going from easy to V-hard or vice versa. You're going the biggest change in game speed, but you're also going the biggest change in RNG variance, in the way the AI can play, minimum to maximum randomness, all back to back, and that's introducing a little extra bit of chaos. May be the just the ticket that's needed here.
Gonna need a lot of chaos, so to really for Razor to have a real chance, though. Yoshi got an 8 flat with their last V-Hard. Their only V-Hard of the tournament was 8 flat.
That's that's a tough one to beat in a no reset scenario here.
Like for those of you maybe new to the community, there was a time really before I ended up getting involved where speedrunner extraordinaire Cypher, who is maybe now known more nowadays for getting records in Mega Man 2, also did a few runs of Tetris Attack back in like 2010 and set a time that stood for over 4 years, and that time was an 8:06. And we're seeing people now play this game so much that every once in a while they are able to casually eclipse that time. It's just amazing me how far we've come.
I was actually talking about that today and looking at the leaderboard. We have 17 people who have a better time than that 8:06, which stood for literal years. That's a lot of improvement in the community as a whole. And yeah, Yoshi casually gets well under that without breaking much of a sweat, it seems.
Just like you see this cursor speed, like even in the PvP versus play against actual humans, Yoshi is a menace, and you can clearly see why just in this warm up right here.
Taking a quick warm up, and this is something that is a strategy that certainly is something that any runner should look at if they feel like they're having trouble. Take a quick minute, do a couple chains at a different game speed just to get something out of your system. If you need to clear your head and work on something like this, marathon or stage clear mode or whichever are great tools that are right there in the game. And Yoshi did this one on a much higher speed to kind of get used to the high speed and then back down to V hard.
Yeah, you will see Yoshi have basically no trouble whatsoever with dealing with this speed. It's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts how many reps Yoshi has put into this game over the years.
Well, and a lot of players that come over from the PvP scene, the top level players play on 8 and 10 game speed. V hard on this game plays on a 6, which is a good deal faster than easy on 2, but still not objectively fast compared to what they're used to.
Okay, game 2 is now underway, and now that we're on V-Hard, we are going to see all 12 stages, and we're probably going to see Yoshi blaze through most of them right away. Bit of a drop.
Yeah, lag chain
in that setup.
Lag chain set up, but didn't quite get the continuation. But again, the quick follow-up, a 16 on a flubbed opening is still so insanely fast. There's a lot of correctly done opens that drop the garbage all at once like you're looking to do that are slower than that. So just insane speed, even with the small mistakes, the cursor speed, the board vision, the lag chains like we just saw right there to be able to quickly follow up and recover. Coming out of Bumpty at the same time as Razor's coming out of Lakitu. Yoshi not wanting to put up a even remotely accessible time here. Just gonna drop something on top of Razor's head that he can't even dream of touching. That's basically what Yoshi did to me through 2 out of the 3 of our matches last week as well.
And just usually Yoshi is casually doing little tricks to extend the chain's little 3-frame slides. Might even get to see a little one frame catch at some point. Just sliding panels underneath falling panels, catching panels in midair. And Yoshi can do it all, and he's showing right now why he is the heavy favorite to take the whole thing, because yeah, we don't normally see separation this pronounced this early into a V-hard race, but Yoshi is definitely another sub 15 stage from our 1 seed. It's crazy.
Razor's over here playing all right, especially for his game. He had a rough go of that opening Lakitu, and that really has put him in a deep hole that he would be in trouble based on this Yoshi speed regardless, but that didn't help. But since then has really been putting together some decent levels, having a little bit of a hard time topping off Pucci here. But we'll see if he can keep it up. Oh no, Yoshi might take more than 14 seconds. Never mind, he got the 14 anyway. Oh, I was wrong. I saw weakness where there was none.
The more combos you can find in your chains, generally, the better off you will be. And yeah, Yoshi is arguably the best in the entire community at finding those combos within their chains, and a little casual swap just as a panel is landing to make a chain extension. Yeah, that seems legit.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't even broken out some of the craziest moves. You'll occasionally see him, you know, do like triple swaps all like within a couple frames on each other to extend something that he's got no business getting. Like, this is just a master class. If you wanna see what a top level player looks like, I also feel like a little bit of, you know, I don't know if upsetness, but an edge, I would say, from the way that time worked out on easy. That is not a time that Yoshi is happy with. Taking it out on V-hard right now.
Okay. Like, clearly Yoshi's getting through the first significantly problem stage in Lungefish in under 4 minutes. Like, come on, this pace is actually unreal. And I mentioned that Lungefish and Raphael here are problems because they don't like to raise their stacks very high, but they're still very adept at clearing panels, so like, we might actually see a conch here. Okay. But you see how many lines Yoshi had to send to make that work.
19-second conch on Raven. Like, that was not a big drawn out you know, last ditch effort. That's the fastest way to take him out, and Yoshi took it. It's insanity. You mentioned that you know, the AI behavior starts to change there, and Lungefish can occasionally be a bit of a troll and a bit of an issue. Yoshi over here saying, what issue? Just casually dropping combos and chains just right up to where he needs.
Look out, that's a 14-second hook, Bill. Oh my goodness.
Oh no. We're under 5 minutes. Under 5 through hook bill. This is insanity that we are watching right here. We all knew it would happen. It's Yoshi. We all have seen him pop off like this, but you know, it's still astounding. It's still hard to wrap your brain around, even knowing it that this is what Yoshi's capable of. And again, casually dropping, like, while in mid-drop, not just in mid-air, but the gravity, you know, the bottom has already fallen out on that block. Yoshi makes the switch to turn it into a chain, and it's a lag chain because there was another chain going on elsewhere.
Lagging too much though. Not a surefire kill there, but that's still a time that we definitely love to see around here. But yeah,
showing a sign of humanity right there with a 25.
Oh, insane. But yeah, you're kind of seeing what makes you're seeing what makes cave here, and even then you can kind of get away with somewhat shorter chains in this area, and you see Yoshi seemingly stuck to X4 chains, and if you can make enough combos with it, that will definitely work. And might be a bit short with Kavik here. This one's also going to last a little while, but geez, has 25 been the slowest stage so far? I haven't even been tracking.
Yeah, 25 was, and a 24. I think he had 119, but everything besides those two has been sub 20, I believe.
Oh geez,
Ooh,
I need to
Razor
remember.
with a nice catch over there, showing off some skill. Might be quite a bit behind, but that doesn't mean can't swag and show off a little bit over on that side of the screen too.
Oh, and Bowser flattens into a garbage clear. It's gonna get a chain there, but I wonder how much time Bowser's going to have still. And that is it.
22.
What in the world? Yoshi's done with the whole run before Razor's finished with pre-cave.
Oh man, and Yoshi cooled off. I mean, his everything through Hookbill was just on blistering pace, and then Piranha, Kamek, and Bowser were, I mean, by the pace he was going, a little bit let up off the gas, but still an insane time. Low 7, just blowing it away. I mean, what is that? A top 3, top 2 time on the leaderboard? Oh, I don't know what he ended up with.
I believe that is. I think that would count as third. That time was 7:13. Let's give that second star over. Holy smokes!
Wow. Just win at that one with a vengeance and at full speed, and Yoshi showing why I feel like both of us making our comments pregame, like we're trying to express how good Yoshi is without sounding like we're overinflating it, but then you watch a match like that and I feel like we might have undersold it.
Yeah, I really do need to go back and really track just what the fastest times were in each race. Like that could very well be the fastest V hard we've seen in tournament play, like ever. That's how fast that was. I can't even. I honestly can't remember.
It's close. We've had a couple mid to low 7s in the brackets in last year's tournament.
Yeah. Remember that much.
I think the low one might have been like a 720, like high 7.2x, 728 something in there.
I think I had a 724 against 6, but
and I think FFR might have dropped a high 720 something as well. But I mean, even those those were insane times in big pressure matches with in bracket where you needed absolutely every one of those seconds. And here's Yoshi just 7:13. Let's go. Making the whole field sweat. If anybody in any one of the positions in any ranking in this tournament felt like they had a shot, a time like that, and with as many what Yoshi would call mistakes as he had in there, because I'm sure Yoshi would look through that and point at least 3 things per stage that he feels like he could have done better. Because that's part of Yoshi's personality too, is just unless it's the world record, and I've personally seen comments from him about his world record runs that he's put up that how much there is to improve. That's that mentality of always getting better, always improving there, that I feel is probably a big part of what's driven Yoshi to the level that he's at.
Okay, let's not completely gloss over what Razor has done in this race.
X10,
just getting into some practice
13.
now.
Oh, not quite mystery chaining it, but a 13 respect. But Kamek got low and was starting to run out of blocks. That felt like a good play there to try and wait for an opening, almost like PPL style. And was that the frame perfect kill?
It sure was. Oh, that is so hilarious. The fact that this game checks for death before checking for matches. That's kind of hilarious. All right. Will this Bowser be any bit as gentle as what what Yoshi was able to see from him. Oh, this is not starting off super, unfortunately.
Yeah, once again, Razor going for some good moves, good matches. He's seeing the board well, but the execution of some of those tight window or frame perfect swaps, just not quite getting the timing on them, and it really put him in a bad position on the opener. But look at, I mean, he's got Bowser topped back off pretty quick. Needs some more follow, but has some good follow up when that's not working out for him. The board vision's there, and that just really needing to get that execution to time out to really drop it quick enough. But I mentioned it earlier. If you're looking at playing this game and you're looking at improving, Razor's a great person to look at for some of the techniques to improve. There's some real use of talent there, and sometimes it gets put together for some good times, and sometimes Bowser trolls a little bit and goes 57. That 1243, I'm not sure how that stacks up with this previous on that.
It's actually, okay, it's consistent if nothing else, because Razor's V-Hard last week was 1241.
There we go!
So, Razor's definitely showing some consistency, if nothing else, and Razor's going to be looking to harness that consistency in the next level we are playing. Hopefully it is not Razor's last. It is going to be hard. Went from red to pink, and hopefully this knocks the variance down just a little bit. Maybe Razor can get a run that he'll like a little bit better with this choice.
Same 12 levels, same game speed of 6, but just less trolley AI and a little bit lower cursor speed from them gives you an opportunity to get a lot of them taken out a little bit quicker. I mean, consistency is a great thing when you're in a no reset scenario like this. Obviously you'd want to be able to use that consistency and improve your, have a consistent time that's a little bit faster. But I say that as probably one of the models of inconsistency. I'm jealous at times of people who have it.
Takes so much time of a steady play to get those skills drilled into you to get that consistency. I've definitely spent my my years of grinding on these games in general, not just this one. And you really have to get super dedicated to get regular times. But here we go.
Yeah, and we see top runners, yourself included, FFR, that sometimes you just don't have the consistency on a given day or a given match or a given pattern or whatever the case may be. I mean, even the best who have it most of the time, you don't have it every time, and that's what makes these tournaments great. Good leaderboard times are a factor, but being able to pull it out when you need it.
Lakitu, I'm sorry to interrupt, but when Lakitu lags a 4-chain on you, you are probably going to be in for a bad time.
Oh, please interrupt me no matter what's happening in my life. If Lakitu lags a 4-chain on hard mode, I expect a phone call at 3 a.m. no matter what I'm doing. If you see that again, that's disgusting and should never happen.
And yeah, that's going to lead to Razor getting an early edge, but it is Yoshi we're talking about, so it's not gonna last a super long time. That was kind of a sudden lead change.
Yeah, couple lag chains, weaving in some combos into those chains, and knowing exactly when to cut it off. I mean, textbook every step of the way for exactly what you want to do in topping off an opponent. And once again, Yoshi really just putting on a clinic.
Only sent 6 lines there when he needed 7.
Yeah.
End up needing 8, and you know what? Razor's still here.
Razor matching 16 for 16. Here we go.
Yeah, it's hard to really go through any match in these tournaments without some intrigue. Not every race is going to be a curb stomp for the top players each and every time. So this you can't be surprised. This game.
Yoshi, one more line.
Random.
It happens to Yoshi too, guys. All of the rest of you here, regular players, I know we've all been one more lined before. It happens to Yoshi too. Video proof
Dueling
right
23s
there.
again.
Dueling 23s.
They're matching stage for stage.
and you know what? If you're the player who's coming in as the underdog, if you feel like you're the lower speed player, if you feel like you're at a disadvantage, man, just stay within a stage. Stay within a stage and just hope that you're inside, as it's been dubbed, the margin of troll, the margin of RNG, the margin of randomness. Just get close enough and let randomness give you a chance. Sometimes that's all you can do, and Razor's definitely doing it right now. Little bit of separation going to be here on this one, but not much. 20 and 24. That's not. Yoshi's not making that separation pulling away yet.
We're still at a point with this level where timing is going to play a significant role in how fast each of these stages go, and we're kind of seeing for the most part from Yoshi, we're not seeing that timing be super fortunate. I wouldn't call it ugly or not crisp or anything like that. It's just really hard to get that timing right, and we haven't seen it super. We haven't seen the luck be super kind to Yoshi.
Yeah, unfortunately on Razor's side, we're experiencing here what realistically these tournament matches are about, is avoiding the really bad stage. And unfortunately, a couple chain setups in a row, Razor trying to set it up and kind of interrupting his own chain making and dropping and not being able to restart his chain really cost him some time there. Good recovery in the end, but just sometimes you get flustered. You're grabbing that next part of the chain and you don't realize that you're messing up the part that you already thought was good, and that's what's gonna hurt you when you're doing these no reset race scenarios. And hopefully he can put it back together here and continue a good string of stages going into the back half of the game.
A bit of a slow burn to the end of that. Raphael for our #1 seed, but still under 5 minutes heading into the Cave of Wickedness. That is more or less what we all want to see out of these runs. Excuse you, Lunchfish, do not be lagging chains on our boy Razor here. Yoshi's just so gifted at finding not just like the simple 4 combos that you would expect people to get after playing this game for a little bit, but 5s and 6s and the occasional 8s, and there was a quick swap right there to make a 5 combo.
Okay, all right. So that's just dumb. Like, dumb good. Like, it's just stupid how fast that cursor speed has to be to make that work. And it looks so simple if you don't know what you're looking at. And I would never even go for that. As a I feel like I'm a pretty alright player. I don't have cursor speed even in the neighborhood to dream of that move, so I'd never try it. He let it land for less than a frame, and the game didn't have enough time to register a match. That's insane. And then an 11 to boot on top of that just keeps on bringing something new to us. Oh.
Well, looks like we are 2 stages away from Yoshi running away.
Right around the 6-minute mark,
match.
Razor going into the cave. That's a pretty good time for a no reset. But once again, this is Yoshi. He's the #1 for a reason, and he's still showing it off.
And just finding 8s and 9 combos, 8s and 9s with ease. This comes so easy to them. Holy moly.
And Yoshi's so fast that you don't realize that, one of the important parts when you're playing, and as you start getting faster, you start seeing moves. You start seeing combos, chain extensions, that your cursor speed, your thumbs just can't get there fast enough. You can be close, you can't quite get there. And that's actually something that's been plaguing Razor a little bit in these matches today. You know, making the right move, but just can't get there. Knowing what, you know, when to bail on something and go with the next best move instead of trying to make something you can't reach. Yoshi, on the other hand, utilizing every bit of that cursor speed to make it to some moves that us watching have no clue that he's going to be able to make that, except that we've seen him make them. He knows before he starts a movement that he's gonna make it, and he's gonna make the chain or combo work. 32 long Bowser, but long for Yoshi, not long for the rest of us. And finishing up in the mid sevens. Great match, lower than his V hard. Funny enough.
Yeah, the V hard was faster still. And even then, Yoshi still split a bit late. So officially, it will go down in the books as a 737. We know it was somewhere near 730. It was quite the sight to behold, and yeah, Yoshi's just that good. Let's just hope Razor can get to something comparable to the 825 he put up last week, and yeah, that's a good way to close. That would be a good closer. Let's see if Bowser can repeat that.
Yeah, and I mentioned it before. Your tiebreakers involve you know, match records, but also your times in the different stages. I mean, they're farther down the table as far as you know, tiebreakers for seeding in bracket or redemption bracket, wherever you land. But they're part of the equation, and you know, outside of simply just wanting to improve and put up good times, which we all want to do, and we've been seeing plenty of, you know, within the tournament confines, it's still definitely useful to work on getting as good a time as possible. You're dealing with averages, and you want to make sure you keep the bad runs less bad and make the good runs better. So you got both parts play into an average there. Yes,
V hard and just all the times in general will serve as tiebreakers for the final bracket if that comes up. I expect that Yoshi will not need them at all.
Given how things are going, and given how things have already gone for Yoshi, I expect that none of the tiebreakers will be needed. But you know, he's gonna make sure he's first in all the tiebreakers just in case they do come up.
All right, so
that time good closeout from Razor there
for Razorflame was 9:37, and just too good for our 16 seed to compete with. So let's give Yoshi that third star and the win. Oof.
Way to finish it, Razor, putting up some good times against the one opponent who will have anyone in this tournament outmatched. Yoshi showing off that world leading world record talent and skill in some times that frankly are absurd for any human being, but here we are, we just witnessed them.
Okay, let's take a look at those updated standings. You have to think Yoshi is a virtual lock at 3-0 now. I'm having trouble imagining the scenario where Yoshi doesn't have enough tiebreakers, even if Forky were to beat him towards the end of the stage.
I think mathematically after our next match it will be confirmed. I don't know. If Forky were to somehow beat him, I think Yoshi's still in regardless, and I don't see that happening. But yeah, Yoshi's mathematically not in yet, but realistically, that 3-0, ending up at 3-1 would still put him essentially in, and I don't I don't see that going down like that with Yoshi playing anywhere close to what he played today, and Yoshi will show us as the tournament goes on. How he played today was perhaps just a warm up. There's another gear or 2 or 7 above what we just saw today, and that's really scary to think about.
Yeah, we got one more opportunity to see Yoshi at their best. Might get geared up for their next match in 2 weeks against BB Forky, but we already saw quite an amazing series of events from Yoshi, and like, jeez, I'm not even sure what else to say. So let's look forward a little bit to see the matches coming up next. We will be taking down the next round of Pool 4 action after this with the FFR Pro and Breadpan, followed by Foxy Man and I Like Being Smart. But coming up next, TA, it's BB Forky and Zeppelander. How do you think that one's gonna go?
This one's gonna be another good one. On paper and based on what they've done so far, BB Forky is certainly the favorite here, the clear favorite. And we'll see. I mean, Forky played great in the one match we've seen him. Because of the bye week last week for him, this is going to be the second match we see from him. His week 1 match against me, he played extremely well. And if he plays anywhere close to that, it's going to be a tough climb. But anybody in this tournament not named Yoshi, I think, could give up a game at any time. So that's really going to be the interesting thing to see. And once again, we've got so many performances from every seeding level. I think that's people have put up improved times, improved on their averages, and I think rough count, I think we've got 7 or 8 of the 20 people who've put in a PB in a race already through 2 weeks. That's going to be something great to watch, and it may not be this next race. It's certainly got the potential for it, but I will pretty much guarantee that we're gonna have someone who's at least 8 seeding numbers lower pull off at least a couple round upset and force a game 5. So I don't know if it's going to be here, but I think we've got a good shot at seeing a game 4 in this match, even though I think Forky's definitely the clear favorite.
Yeah, he is a clear favorite, but this tournament is deep, man. I mean, we've got the NCAA men's college basketball tournament going on, where a 15 seed has run a rough shot through their entire field, and we already saw our 15 seed Kanayo take a game off the 2 seed Tayman. So we're ready for just about anything to happen here, and we're gonna get that going for you shortly with our next match, Forky and Zeppelander. But for this matchup, that's gonna do it, I think, for all we've got to say about this one. So I'll take care of that broadcast for those of you watching on YouTube. Thank you for watching those videos as they come out. For Tetris Attacker and everyone else at the League of Puzzle Speedrunners, this has been Cards of the Heart. Until next time, everyone, thanks for watching.
Happy puzzling, everybody.